Y'all, so I am all caught up to date on Divorce Sistas. Right now, we're going to be discussing episode 14, but honey, ooh, it's the ish is finally hitting the fan, okay? We have been waiting. So, you know, Naomi put a hit out on Franklin. So Hakeem shows up with no mask on to kill Franklin. And of course, they dragged this scene out because I personally feel he didn't go through with it. He's like, Franklin's like, what is she promising you? What money? Blah, blah, blah. He just automatically knows it's Naomi for some reason. Now, this part, remember last discussion, I was getting on Naomi about lying or about how I felt she lied on Franklin saying he molested their son because I felt like she was just trying to get Hakeem ramped up to kill him, right? So when Franklin's like, what did she say? I abused her? I sexually molested my son? And I'm like, why would that come to your mind as an allegation? That's very specific. Now I'm starting to think Naomi isn't lying because why would that be something that would pop into your mind as something that she would tell a hitman? So we're going to revisit that. But we never see Hakeem kill Franklin. That's why I feel like they probably made a deal. I feel like Franklin probably is paying Hakeem to stage his death, right? Because he was telling Hakeem, she gonna find a way to pin it all on you. I kind of believe she would do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think they hatched a plan. Because if he was gonna kill him, they would have shown it. So Vaughn's immature, but Vaughn and Bridget's little relationship is so like ill. Yo, he beat up that man, right? The one he was working for. And the one he was working for, and the guy was going to put him in jail and all this stuff. So Bridget talked to him and got him to drop the charges and everything, but the guy's like, I need my key. I think he's a locksmith or something, but he needs the key to for his job. So she's like, well, where did you last have the key? Was it in your clothes or something? Well, go and look in the laundry. He gonna holler out, yes, ma'am. Why are you calling a woman you used to have sex with, ma'am? Like, I can't. And she's steadily saying, this child, and calling him boy. And like, Bridget, I gotta look at you sideways. Like, it's one thing to be a cougar, but ew. I don't. And Vaughn, I don't even know if his character is really needed because he doesn't really have too much going on outside of Bridget. And they're supposed to be broken up, but I think Bridget is still kind of sweet on him. But anyway, that's what I think. So she calls Calvin, the guy that he beat up, to come get the key. And Calvin's, talking to her. And she's like, don't try to ask me out because I know you married. And he's like, yeah, I'm married, but, we are getting divorced and all this stuff. Next thing we know, his wife, his estranged wife, busts through the door. I guess she put a tracker device on his car or something. Oh, this the one you cheat on me with? Blah, blah, blah. She all in Bridget's house, threw a vase and shit. He had to take her out the house. Like, Bridget, I feel so sorry for Bridget because how did you get caught up in that? Like, that is crazy. Can you imagine somebody you're not messing with at all, and their wife come and bust up in your house breaking your shit? Like, honey, And Bridget wasn't mad enough for me. I would have called the police. I would have went outside, took my car, blocked her in so she can't leave, at least not in her car. And I would have called the police on her. Like you a burglar at this point. So the dinner that we've all been waiting for. Um well actually no. They moved. They had the dinner, sort of kinda. They didn't eat. But they took it back to Rashida and Jeff's place. And, in true Tyler Perry fashion, I like Tyler, but he drags stuff out a lot of times in his shows. So Jeff was like, they're counseling them, and he's like, well, tell Geneva why you love her, what she means to you, how y'all met, and they had this little sentimental moment, right? So then Geneva, out of nowhere, she's not yours. So William's looking, he got the answer he wanted. But then he's like, well, who is it? She can't say. Well, are you in love with him? She can't say. So William, understandably, is upset, gets up and leaves. He just walks off. Jeff was like, look, let me give you a ride. He's like, nah, I just need to take a walk. So he walks back to the restaurant they were at earlier where Tiffany's ex-husband works. Now I'm gonna get in Tiffany's ex-husband's ass in a minute because I feel like he's too involved in her shit. Y'all, your son is grown and y'all aren't married. But anyway, we're gonna get back to Tiffany's ex-husband. So Williams tells him, hey, we're getting divorced, and Tiffany's husband, I forgot his name because he does have a name. I think it's John. Um, John is telling him, yeah, Tiffany, yeah, she's with some guy, and he was trying to get information from William. Why? I don't know. So there's this baddie sitting at the bar or whatever, looking cute. And William's like, who's that? John's like, man, you want to leave that alone? She a hooker. And he's like, oh, yeah, he's still kind of lit at this point. So he's talking to her. She told him 1,500. Damn. 1,500? Y'all paying that much for some booty? But anyway, I get it though. You're paying for that person's time, I guess. If you don't go home with a stranger that you don't know, I guess it need to be more than $40, like the joke goes. But anyway, this is the part I can't blame William for, like, you know what, I'm just gonna go and pick up something and hunch on something tonight. I can't blame him for that because you just found out that, well, you've been knowing that your daughter isn't yours for a few days now, but you absolutely heard it straight from your wife. And then she couldn't even answer you when you asked her who it was, if you knew him, and if you, if you knew him, and if she loved him. Couldn't answer none of that. But this is the problem that I had. He took the sex worker to his house and his daughter was upstairs asleep. And when she asked about the bedroom, he was like, no, we can do it right here. Okay, your daughter's in the house. Yeah, she's asleep, but what if she decide to get up and she want a little snack and she's seeing her dad and some strange woman butt naked on the couch? Like that, I would try to give William some grace because he's drunk, but no. He should have got a room or something. Bringing her to the house where your daughter is, and I understand that's not his biological daughter, but the little girl don't know that, all right? All she knows is that's her daddy. He's the one that has been raising her since birth. So I thought that was trifling. And then fucking on the couch is nasty as hell because, again, other people sit on the couch. Your daughter, I'm pretty sure she come downstairs and sit on the couch and watch TV. That was just bad judgment. But I think he was just drunk and hurt and just was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do whatever right now. You see what I'm saying? So they do their thing. Miss Geneva, the villain of the show, is sitting outside Tiffany's house because she sees Javon's car out there. Now, Rashida was going to go see Tiffany. She sees Geneva, so she hops in the car with Geneva, talking to her, and Geneva's crying, talking about Javon's her soulmate and all this stuff. So when Javon and Tiffany get done doing their thing, Tiffany was like, we need to slow it down. And he's being real persistent. At this point, I'm like, I still don't know how to take him, right? If he's really into her like that or not. So when Geneva gets in the car, he's like, well, yeah, I mean, I did have feelings for you. He's speaking in past tense. He said, but I'm feeling, Tiffany right now. And Geneva's like, you are not feeling her. And he said, this part was funny. He said, we feeling the fuck out of each other. I said, I know that's right, Javon. But Geneva talking about some he's not her type, she's not his type of stuff. Girl, how you know? You act like you were in a relationship with the man. I might have to go back a few episodes or several episodes and see how they even met and how they even came about, because you act like you were in a relationship with this man. Weren't y'all just freaking hunching on each other and you got pregnant? So then he's like, well, you got a whole husband at home. Why are you worrying about me? Well, look, if you leave him, I'll leave her and we'll raise our child together. And she was shaking her head no. Okay, what do you want? So you want to stay married to William and then get with Javon on the side? I don't I don't get it, because you're really at this point about to lose both of them. Which you should. I feel like Javon should just go on about his life. I don't know if it needs to be with Tiffany. William needs to go on with his life because you had a baby outside of the marriage or inside the marriage, but it wasn't your husband. You see what I'm saying? Like, so she's like, F you, I hate you, because he's like, look, I'm not fooling with you. He's staying with Tiffany because she won't leave William. So she's fiery mad. She gets home. William and the sex worker are just got done having sex. She walks in on it. And the last scene we see, which was a good shot, Tyler, the last scene we see is her jumping over the couch attacking the girl. Now, why you attacking her, I don't know. Because, of course, Geneva doesn't know that that's her job, but that's your husband. Don't you need to be jumping on him, even though y'all both wrong? I mean, like I said, she's more wrong. He's wrong for bringing a woman in the house. I'll say that. But I can't fault him for being like, you know what, I'm going to go and fuck on something. Because that's what you did. You see what I'm saying? You can tell by the way this episode ended that it's gonna be a whole lot going on next episode, and I can't wait to fill y'all in because I have seen the next episode, and I try not to watch ahead of what I'm discussing because I might get some information mixed up with the episodes. That's why I like to take notes as I go. But like I said, in a nutshell, my thoughts on this episode, I do not feel like Franklin is dead. I feel like Franklin and Hakeem, I feel like Franklin was like, look, I'll pay you double, triple what she's paying you. I'll wire you the money right now, Western Union, Cash App, whatever. I think they staged his death because he asked Naomi while he was on the phone when he was asking for his money. He was like, you want me to send you a pic? So I said, you know what? I bet you Franklin's probably had some fake blood, laid in the tub or on the floor or wherever. I bet you that's what happened. And he's probably trying to get Hakeem to set Naomi up. My other thoughts is Geneva. Geneva, Geneva's too much. I feel like Rashida needs to worry about her own house. I understand you're a counselor and stuff. That's part of your pastor duties, but leave that alone. But listen, I really want to hear what y'all think about episode 14 of Divorced Sisters. All right. Let me know in the comments. Shout out to my 210 subscribers. Shout out to the rest of you who are not subscribed, but you know you can by hitting that button for me. I very much appreciate it. We are trying to get me 1,000 subs by the end of this year. All right. That's the goal for 2026. 1,000 subs. Again, I'm at 210. Peace and blessings to every last one of you watching. Until next time.